So today we're going to work on making this cowl. It is very pretty. This is the Premier Puzzle yarn, and this particular color is called Kickball. But we're going to use this one, and it is called Hide and Seek. It's got some pretty purples in it. So the stitch that we're going to use is very easy. If you can do a chain stitch, a single crochet, and a double crochet, you'll have no problem with this stitch. And this is what it looks like when you use a solid color. You can like really see the little pattern that it's making, and it's got a lot of stretch to it. And for the puzzle yarn, it's a bulky 5, and we're going to use a 7mm hook. It says 6mm, but we're going to use a 7mm hook. And you'll need a couple of stitch markers. You'll need a yarn needle for the end when you're finished, and a pair of scissors to cut your yarn with. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I had to work my way through all the yarn barf and get that untangled. So you want to start off with a slip knot. And this pattern is in multiples of 3. So if you're using the bulky number 5 and the 7mm hook, chain 99. If you're using a different size, you want to just chain until you reach about 30 inches unstretched. So don't stretch it out when you measure it, just lay it down normal and measure. So let's go ahead and chain 99. Once you've completed your 99 stitches, you're going to want to skip the first 2 chains and go to the third chain in the hook, third chain from the hook, and do a single crochet. Okay, so that chain 2 that we skipped is going to count as a single crochet. So in that same chain space, you've got a single crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. Skip 2 chains, go to the third one over, do a single crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Skip 2, in the third one, put a single crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Skip 2 chains. In the third chain, put a single crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. So you're going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row, and when I get to the end, I'll show you what to do there. Okay, when you make it to the end, you're going to skip 2 and put a single crochet in the very last chain stitch. And this is where your stitch markers are going to come into play. You're going to chain 1, mark that chain 1 stitch, because that chain 1 is going to be considered a single crochet. So then we're going to jump over here to this chain space, and we're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, all in that same chain space. Then you'll reach over to the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, all into the same space. Reach over to the next spot, single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into the same chain space. And you're just going to repeat that all the way across till you get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there and show you what to do next. Okay, when you make it to the end, we have that chain 2 that we turned. We're going to place a single crochet. And we're going to chain 1, bring on our second stitch marker, and mark that chain stitch. So turn our work, and into that first chain space, we're going to do the single, chain 1, and a double crochet, all in the same place. Reach over to the next chain space, single, chain 1, and a double crochet. Now, if you are one of those people that thinks that I'm going too fast, please use the gear, and you can slow down the video if you think that I went too fast. If you think I'm going too slow, you can speed up the video. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to repeat this all the way across till we get to the other end. And once we do that end, I'm going to leave you on your own until we get to our desired width. This part actually works pretty quick because there's no counting anymore. You can sit and watch TV as long as you can feel that chain space. You can just go to town. Okay, so we've made it to the end, and we marked our chain with our stitch marker. So we're going to go into that chain and do a single crochet. Remove our marker. Chain 1, bring our marker back, mark that chain space, turn our work, and repeat the row. And that is single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Skipping to the chain space, single, chain, and double. So you're going to keep repeating that process until you get to be about 7 inches wide. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. All right, so for me, it took 13 rows to get me right at 7 inches. And I am 32 inches long, which is where I want it to be. So that's what I was saying, like, don't stretch your chain. If it measures to 30 inches, you're going to come out pretty good. All right, so what's going to happen now? Well, we have a couple of choices here. So this is going to fold over like this. So if you put it on with it this way, this goes to your left side. If you do it this way, it'll go to your right side. So you have to choose which way do you want that to go. So you can stitch this together along the two edges, and it would be one piece that you just pull over your head. Or you could make it to where it buttons. Now, I think my buttons are a little small. Maybe not. They're definitely a little dark. Okay, so 3 buttons in You could do them just decorative after you've sewn it all together, or you would attach them to this side and then work an edge here for it to button on and make little buttonholes. So we have a decision to make. What are we going to do? I don't know. Or the buttons could even be over here on that side. Help me out here. What are we going to do? So when you're wearing it, you can fold that part down like a collar for when you're inside, or you leave it straight up when you're outside in the cold wind. I wish it got cold enough here in Florida to wear stuff like this. I love winter clothing. I think I'm going to stitch it together because I don't think my buttons are big enough and they're not the right color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet along this edge, around the bottom, and back up this edge so that I have a nice clean finish to connect them together. So I'm going to chain one and just single crochet. I'm going to put one in each one of these little connecting spaces. That's 2, 3, 4, 13. Okay, so it's my 13 rows. Then I have my beginning chain. So I'm going to make that my corner. So that's 14 on that side. Chain 2. Turn the corner and put another one right in there. And then we have the other side of our chain stitch to work into. And I'm going to put one single crochet in each one of those. And go all the way around that long side. Back up this side. So let's work on that. Okay, so I'm at my corner, single, chain 2, and another single. That'll be 1. So I want to end up with 14 on this side so that it's even with the other. So that's 1, 2. So that cleans up that edge nicely. Just loosen this in case I need to do anything else. Fold that down. It'll make it easier for stitching those together. Well, I decided buttons on this one. So I've done up the side. I did my 14, but I took it all the way up to where it would make the edge come out straight. So it gave me a total of 17 stitches. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and do 2 single crochets, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, 3 singles, chain 2, skip 2, And 1, 2, 3 singles, chain 2, skip 2, and then because it was 17, this end has 3 to get me to the corner. Chain 1, turn my work, and do another row of single crochet. It's 1, 2, 3, 2 in the chain 2 space, 2 more in this chain 2 space, two in this chain 2 space, and then 1 and 2, chain 1, turn my work again, and do 1 more row of single crochet. And we're going to fasten off, work in our end, I think I'm going to need a smaller needle to get through those little bitty buttonholes. All right, so I had to flip this around because I had my finished edge on the wrong side. So I had to flip it around, refold it. It didn't matter about this stitching, that was fine. I just needed to fold it the opposite way, or flip it over and then fold it. And yeah, so you want to be mindful that your finished edge is on the bottom when you're getting prepared to attach your buttons. So you don't want it to be, yeah, wonky. So for more great project ideas, if you click this link right over here, it'll take you directly there.